I am an intuition teacher and I cannot teach you to be intuitive. Hmm? What you talking about, Deb D? Look, it is impossible for me to teach you to be intuitive because you already are. What I teach is how you can listen, how you can connect to it, develop trust, leverage it in your leadership, work with it in strategy and decision making. Like, that's what I teach. How to work with it, how to strengthen it, how to know it, how to trust it. But I can't teach you how to be intuitive when you already are. In fact, I'm going to put it out there. If there's a teacher out there that says, come and do my course because I will teach you how to be intuitive, you can say, I'm not giving you my money because you're taking away my power. Because your power is we're all naturally intuitive. But today, my friends, here inside our story vault, the Be Her podcast for episode 13, the number of the divine feminine, we're going into intuitive wisdom. And we're going to look at it through two different lenses, two lenses that have come into focus for me in the last couple of months. So this episode came through me, started to organize itself in my mind as I was walking the beach on Monday morning. Here's a hot tip as your intuition teacher. Most of the time, your intuition is going to turn up when you're either moving or doing the dishes or at the end of a yoga class or in a conversation with one of your soul sisters. Sometimes you might get it in the meditation. Sometimes you might get it in a dream or journaling, but a lot of the time, your intuition is going to run like a river when you're just being human and you're open and allowing. And that's me walking the beach. So I'm walking the beach on Monday and I start to see these new lenses coming into focus. And one is little me, and the other is information about intuition that Sage and the Blue family have been sharing with me, either in channeled sessions that I've done with other women or in my own private conversations with them through walks we take together or journaling that I do with them. And I'm going to bring that into focus for us all because as an intuition expert, and I'm going to call her, I want to be an intuition teacher. If I'm not already, I'm really good. You might want to come hang out with me if you want to know more about your intuition because I love it. To me, it's playtime and it's one of our superpowers. And I want all women to be connected to as much power as possible. So episode 13 is all about intuitive you and these two lenses. So I'm going to say this right off the bat. This is still alive in me. It's still making sense inside me. And so we're going to work it out together. I know where I'm going with what I want to say, but what actually comes out of my mouth, let's see what happens. We're in it now. So let's go first to little Deb. So little Deb, from what I have been able to glean literally from hypnosis sessions and speaking to my mother in other ways. And what I say glean is I don't actually have a direct memory of this. But little me, round about when I was 3, told my spirit friends to go away because they were getting me into trouble. I wanted to be the good girl. And for years, I saw that as the greatest assault on my life because my power had been taken away because it was dangerous to the church and the patriarchy. And I was really pissed about that. But what I hadn't connected to that story is what happened next for little me. So my mother tells that the year that I was turning 4, is the year that she spent a lot of time in the emergency department, literally taking me to hospital. I wasn't sick with an illness. I was just hurting myself a lot. I spoke to my mother about this the other day, which is part of kind of what sparked this reorganizing of my meaning making around this. Because Monday night I was like, I'm calling Barbara. I got to ask my mum about this. So when I was 3, going on 4, there was a series of accidents that happened. I broke my left leg in 3 spots and ended up with a cast from ankle all the way up to hip. I split my left ear. My sister, Judith, was making a mess with water in the bathroom, and my mum said to me, go and tell her not to make a mess. Too late, she was already making a mess. So I go running around the corner from the hallway to go into the bathroom. I slip, and I slip into the bathroom, but my ear didn't. It stayed out in the door. So I've got this ear that got all mangled. My left leg broken in 3 spots because my sister Sandra and the neighborhood friend Gabrielle were on a swing, one of those swings that has the 2 seats on either side and it's swinging. And they were teasing me because they were on the swing and I wasn't. And I wanted them to stop so I could get on the swing. There was room for me. They just didn't want me on the swing. So little me was like, fine, I'm just going to stop the swing then. And I put my left leg out and smashed in 3 spots. We also, the year I was 4, we lived in this amazing house. I actually remember parts of it. It was a house where I spent years of my young childhood. And out the back, against the back fence, we had these big, beautiful fruit trees, apricots and plums. And so when the season would come round, as kids, we would literally go out and be fruit picking and eating. And my mum tells me just the other day, I don't remember this, that I tripped over one of the roots of those fruit trees and I dislocated my elbow. Now, Mum can't remember if it's the left or the right. I have a lot of trouble with my right elbow, so I'm guessing it's the right one. And then Mum said, but there was more. She said there was more ways that I just kept falling over or finding myself slipping in water or not getting my way and getting in the way of an accident. And I knew that about me, but I hadn't connected that all happened when I told my spirit friends to go away. So now, meaning making Deb, walking the beach on Monday, I was like, oh, I became completely ungrounded. I wasn't in my body. I was literally tripping over stuff, slipping, hurting myself, trying to be seen, give me my turn. Like a lot of these things are little kid stuff, but my mum said, she said, I was really worried about you that year because my mum's got 7 children. And she said, that is the year that I spent most of the time in the emergency department. She said, something was going on with you, Deborah. And I said, I know what it was, Mum. I had turned off my intuition. I felt that it wasn't allowed. And the result was a whole heap of chaos. Now, yes, this is meaning making. This is what we do as humans. We connect the puzzle pieces of our lives and we create meaning around them. We're doing it all the time. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I do believe we need to understand that that's meaning making. That's what we're doing. It's not always grounded in fact. because you could ask 7 people who are all at the same party about a particular moment at the party, and there's 7 different experiences of that moment. So we're all making meaning, but this is also a part of the joy of the human experience is you get to be deeply interested in yourself and find meaning in what has happened, what you survived, what you were challenged by. We are living stories. So now I have this new meaning. And I think a part of another reason why this is come forward now is in part for what Sage and the Blue family have been sharing with me. What was already coming through my teaching before they started sharing with me. But also I have been putting a focus on embodiment in 2026. I have been going to yoga class often, more than the years before. I love going to yoga class. I actually find it quite social. I know it's good for my body. It's one of the things that gets me out of my mind. But this year, so I'm going consistently. I'm also doing more strength training work in my body. I'm focusing on how my body is feeling. And I've also started to see here on the island this amazing osteopath who is really working with my body and making these connections around how my body's connected or not connected. And all of that has got everything to do with little me because it's these accidents that happened when I was 3, turning 4, before I even got to school, and then school and the whole education system then started to tell me who I was. So what I want to highlight here before we shift towards Sage and the Blue family, a different lens, is I told my spirit friends to go away, and what happened next is a whole heap of chaos, accidents, and an ungrounded Deborah. Then you fast forward now many years, and I'm an intuition teacher, and I'm working with women around their intuition. I've been doing it for years. I've been playing in the intuitive playground for a few decades at this point. And what I know to be true is your intuition is your first sense. It's natural. It's practical. It's your inner guidance system. It's not mystical or magical. It can give you access to the mystical and magical, but it's not the mystical and magical. It's natural. Every single human is intuitive. So this is why when I'm teaching intuition, it's very practical. I call them intuitive reps, like literally going to the magic gym, intuitive magic gym. You repeat certain activities and like almost like doing bicep curls, but for your intuition. That's what an intuition teacher does. A good one like me, just saying. If you want to learn more about your intuition, just saying. So we're doing intuitive muscle reps and we're actually learning how our communication works between earthbound me, conscious me, and intuitive me. And then when we learn and leverage that, then we get the trust and giddy up, let's go. The whole world starts to open up and you are connected to your intuitive wisdom. And for quite a few years, a huge part of what fueled this for me was what had happened to me, little me, because of it wasn't understood by the adults around me, Catholic Church, patriarchy, whatever you want to call it, I shut it down. So I also saw this mission for myself of like, I'm supporting women to reclaim it. Because middle finger to the patriarchy and organized religion, they stole it from us. They silenced it. They shamed it, which is all true. But now I'm seeing it in a new way. And I'm seeing it as it's just a part of you. Maybe take the just out of that. Let's change that sentence. It's a part of you. It's a part of me. What about if we take away this emotional sting of the silencing and the shaming. And again, this is true. This has happened for generations. It's what happened to me. But it's also what's been holding us back, being connected to this story where we are the victims. I'm not connected to that story anymore. I'm more connected to the story of we're in the new narrative, women's leadership is rising, and our intuition is part of what we bring to the table, part of what we're using to build new tables. It's natural. It's a part of every leader. It's a part of every woman. It's a part of every human. And we're just remembering. We're just taking away all our barriers. We're just trusting. And I started to see and tune in this way, particularly with the women who I work in leadership who are leveraging their intuition in up-leveling their leadership, in shifting identities from the inside out, in upscaling their vision and impact in the world. They don't need to go to the mystical and the magical. They're here earthbound, making a difference. And then Sage and the Blue family step into the story. So if anyone's just picking it up now, I'll give you a little bridge. Sage is my beloved son who has been in spirit for 13 years. The Blue family are the souls that he hangs out with. In 2026, I finally surrendered and said, all right, Sage and the Blue family, I will be your earthbound channel. Let's go. So I have started to channel down information from Sage and the Blue family and have been sharing it with women in the Be Her collective in community circles. There's an episode where I speak about it in more detail. Can't remember what number it is, but the title of the episode is Ripping Off the Band-Aid, I think. It's all about ripping off the Band-Aid. Anywho's, Sage and the Blue family, we've been hanging out for a while now. There's been a couple of community circles. There's been time when I've been asking them to work directly with me on my leadership and being the founder of the collective, the leader of the Gentle Revolution. And they're like, yeah, this is what we've been waiting years for, Deb. Let's go. And this is a new way of seeing and working with intuition that they have given me. And let me just say, I'm still digesting this. So let's all kind of work through this together. So what they share is intuition for a woman is like water. I said it's like nourishment and it's literally hydration. So then when they go further, they're talking about this hydration as literally what lubricates us from the inside so that everything is running and humming. And then what they showed me next is women have been running the race, like a marathon type of race, just taking little sips of the water, not fully hydrating, because we're allowed intuition in certain places, or maybe when it's useful in some way, or in the quiet, special places that we don't tell the whole world about. These little sips where we'll take sips of intuitive wisdom. And so Sage and the Blue family are like, yeah, this is why, Deborah, we want you helping people understanding you're already intuitive. It's there. You just got to drink a whole heap more water. And partly, I think they mean drink water, because as an intuition teacher, I will also tell you, you want to be hydrated because your intuition really needs you to be hydrated, particularly if you're doing any type of imagination or inspiration work. But more than that, they're saying, see it as the inner hydration, kind of like turning the tap back on for the intuitive wisdom to flow, so that as women we become fully hydrated. And then from that fully hydrated place, we then step into leadership. So let me just peel that back for a second. So you've either been on a long walk or a run or even in a race, or just out on a day where you didn't take enough water. But we all know that feeling of that dryness in the mouth. And when your mind just starts to fixate on drinking a nice cold glass of water, like right now with me, vibe in that feeling of I'm so fucking thirsty. I want to drink a river. It's so thirsty. That's what Sage and the Blue family is showing me. That's what women have been doing for generations. Doing all that we do, all the multitasking that we do. Thirsty. Not hydrated. No wonder we're burning out. No wonder we have so much, like we have the majority of autoimmune disease. We're all dehydrated from our wisdom, from our inner guidance system. So what I'm seeing now in my meaning making of little Deb got real ungrounded and accidents happened, and Sage and the Blue family saying, yeah, Deb, intuition's important, but it's actually the pre-beat before the leadership, before the change that happens in the new era. They're really clear about that. They said, we don't want you to drop it, but it's not the point. It's not the point. It's the hydration. It's the preparing for the woman. It's actually getting everything back online for the woman. And so what I'm seeing now is intuition is more about us being grounded and resourced, earthbound, rather than trying to connect to the universe or the heavens or an angel or a guide. Yes, your intuition can support you in doing that. But the meaning making that is going bing, 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 bing in my mind right now is it's more about you earthbound than trying to reach to the heavens or the ethers or the universe, whatever word you want to use. Turn it around to this is a human skill. And because of a whole heap of patriarchal posturing, organized religion, capitalism, all that fuckery of generations, women have disconnected, turned off the tap, only been taking little sips. And we are dehydrated, trying to run a race, trying to change the world. And so what's possible for all of us if we see our intuitive wisdom as a river of insight, as a way of nourishing ourselves from the inside out, as a way of getting our full selves back online, resourcing ourselves. So we are bringing intuitive wisdom and our intellect and all of the amazing skills that women have naturally. All of that coming forward and bringing it into women's leadership. I mean, I'm so curious what you think. I really, really do want to hear from you. When I say intuition is water for a woman, is that resonating, or are you like, it's going to take a few beats, Deb? I need you to talk about that some more. Or are you getting like a ding in the mind, which is like, oh yeah, I got it. Because like I said, I'm still figuring this out. I'm figuring it out with you in real time because I'm changing as a woman. I'm changing as a leader. I'm now a channel for Sage and the Blue family, which is changing me. And we are in a changing world. And so we don't have to have it all figured out. We can be in the figuring out of it together. Mhm. We're all just figuring it out. And let's no longer take sips of water. Let's drink the whole river because there's more coming downstream. Now, I do want to share at this point, if you are someone who is listening and you're like, I want to be in the river, I want to feel hydrated, turn on the water. But you're also someone who's like, and I never really knew how to do that. Then I am going to direct you towards ATTUNE. ATTUNE is a 5-day intuition activation that I created a couple of years ago now. And I still, to this day, I stand by this. I think it's one of the greatest things I've created. I love the story arc in it. I love the practicality of it. But essentially, what ATTUNE is an audio activation. So over 5 days, you listen to me for about 10 to 15 minutes each morning. There's an audio that you get for each day. And we start at day 1. And each day builds your intuitive listening. It literally gets you online. It gets the water running. So you don't have to try to figure it out. It doesn't have to be complicated. It's not going to take trying to find Zen in meditation, which is also, I have to say, as your intuition teacher, don't go doing that. That is not the way you want to start playing and connecting with your intuition. What you want to do is say yes to ATTUNE. You want to say yes to ATTUNE. Now, for Be Her podcast listeners, you know there's a sweet deal there for you. You're going to go to the show notes now. You're going to see the link for ATTUNE. You're also going to see the discount code because you're one in a million. You're in the collective. And I want as many women as possible to practically connect to their intuition, take a big drink of water, get hydrated because we need all of you in the gentle revolution. But we are the intuitive heroines of the gentle revolution, and the new era is here. This is what I'm being led towards. This is what Sage and the Blue family are leading me towards. If you're connecting to anybody else who's either a spiritual teacher or a thought leader who's working on women's leadership, we're all saying the same thing. Now is the time. And we don't have to force or rush, but we do need to step forward. And one of those first steps is ensuring your intuition is online and you are hydrated with intuitive wisdom. So if you've been hanging out with me for a while, we've probably done ATTUNE together, or you've done ATTUNE yourself. You can do it all on your own. It's 5 days. It lands in your inbox. It's 15 minutes a day over 5 days. And you get that intuitive wisdom running like a river. I'm so curious what you are taking away from this episode, because as I said, I'm figuring this out and I want to figure it out with you. Please send me an email, Deborah@thebehercollective.com, if there's a question, if there's what's sparking for you. And if you're not sparking, if you're feeling thirsty, ATTUNE. In 5 days, you'll be in the river. All right, my friends. Yep, you're intuitive. It's your first sense. And it is the wisdom that we all want to hydrate now, because we are the women of the new era. We are planting the seeds. We are writing and weaving the new narrative. The gentle revolution is underway. And we are the intuitive heroines who are making that way. You are one in a million, and I am so pleased to be with you for episode 13. Coming up, I have some amazing women sharing their stories, plus more about the gentle revolution, intuitive heroine status and you and your leadership. Until then, my friends, go and drink some water, and I'll see you in the playground. Big love.